think the biggest question I am curious about, and it's always that question of protein, which drives all of us plant-based people completely crazy. But do you pay attention to how much protein that you eat?
Yes, I actually have to pay attention because of what I do. And I think it's, usually the question is a little bit weird because most people in society eat more protein than they actually need.
Yeah.
So for most people, it's not really a relevant question. But for me as an athlete, and especially as an athlete who does strength sports, it is important to get enough protein. So, and I actually, I know that a lot of people who are plant-based, that they kind of get annoyed by the question because it comes up a lot. But I always see it as an opportunity to just educate people and just tell them about how it works. So basically, for me, it's always a mix of grains and legumes. So that sounds very very technical, but it just in practice it just means that I'm eating a lot of rice dishes with beans, lentils, chickpeas, all kinds of legumes, and that's basically it. And then other than that, before I went vegan, I was actually vegetarian for a few years, and I was consuming a lot of dairy products because I just like the taste of it, and I used it as a protein source. So what I still have is that I use soy milk, for instance, as a replacement of the dairy products that I was, that I like back then.
Nice. Okay, so you're, one of the strongest men in the world. How would you define real strength?
Well, for me, real strength is not just one-dimensional. So it's not just about physical strength. It's about, you can be strong intellectually, you can be strong at heart by being compassionate. And that's for me, if you're only strong in one domain, it doesn't really do anything. And so that's one thing. And then the other thing is that I always think strength in and of itself is useless if you don't use it for something greater, for something good, to achieve something that helps other people or that changes the world for a better. And that was one reason for me as an athlete to think about how I could use my strength and use my achievements as an athlete to try to help in a cause that is much bigger than I am, and that goes beyond everything that I can do. And that's basically what this film does. It's so much bigger than what I do, but at the same time, it is exactly carrying the message that I want to carry out in the world. So for me, it was a huge opportunity to just basically do everything that I believe in, but do it in a much more efficient way and in a much more powerful way than I could ever do on my own.
Yeah, well, you're a wonderful role model.